Welcome to another day of getting to self-actualization. Welcome. I am Yashika Foster, and if this is your first time here, welcome to Hood Parenting over on YouTube. And this is the series Getting to Self-Actualization, and I believe we are on day 21 or 22. I can't remember. Y'all know I'm 52. But the reason why I don't remember the days or what day we are on is because if you feel that this series is something that you need and you've been getting something from it, you do not have to watch all the episodes in order, okay? And so that's why, my lipstick might ran a little over. You do not have to watch all the episodes in order. The beautiful thing about the Getting to Self-Actualization series is that all 28 episodes are individual, right? They are not, you got to have this one in order to watch this one. No, it's individual episodes and you will get something from them. Now, granted, in some episodes, I may refer to some things that I spoke about in a previous episode, but otherwise, you don't have to watch the episodes in order. Again, I am Yashika Foster. I am a self-actualization and life strategist. Hello. And while you're here, do me a favor and leave a comment below. Let me know you are here. Let me know. Listen, subscribe, like, share, do whatever you need to do. But let me know you here. Whistle, turn on your notifications. What they say, blow the whistle. Blow the whistle. Ooh, blow the whistle, right? Do what you got to do. Let people know I'm live, okay? Let people know I am live. But listen, today what are we talking about today? So I can make sure that I am on track, because y'all know me and my isms will get a hold of it, okay? But today we are talking about your new life will cost you your old one. In order for you to be self-actualized, to get to Maslow's hierarchy of need, your new life will cost you your old one. And that's going to hurt some people. That's going to hurt some people because sometimes we believe that we want to take everybody with us when we're doing things, right? We want to take our loved ones with us. We want to take our friends with us. We want to take everybody with us because we believe that everybody deserves to do or be or whatever. Let me tell y'all something. I believe that about the world. I believe that everyone has something in them, that je ne sais quoi, right? That they are, or they should be able to tap into, that shows the world why they are an individual, right? Now, granted, a lot of people don't really understand what their part of life is or what their shine is. And so a lot of times they look for it. But when you do know what it is and you're able to give it to other people, right? In order for you to get there, you're going to have to leave some people behind because not everybody wants to get there. Even the ones who have this something in them, they won't see it. But let me say something before I get started about people. And I don't know how this came to my mind, but some told me I need to say this. I keep certain people, we call them haters. Okay. Some people call them haters. Okay. Whatever. They disguise themselves as friends, family members, acquaintances, whatever. But you guys know when people are sometimes like looking at you side eye because they're like, well, why are you able to do this? And I'm over here going through this. Let me tell you something. One thing about those people, right? And I call them fair weather friends. Okay. I know fair weather friends is not the definition, but for me, they're my friends, but they're fair weather friends. Okay. They're friends that, yeah. So anyway, so I want to give them a beautiful name. I don't want to call them haters. So I want to call them my likables. That's what we're going to call them, my likables, right? When it comes to my likables, I like to keep those people around because one thing about your likables is that they will let you know when you are doing good and or when you are doing bad. Okay. And here's how they'll let you know. If you're doing good or if you are doing some amazing things, right? They're not going to say anything. They're like church mouses. They're going to be quiet. They're not going to see much of anything. That's how you know you're doing something good. Okay. How you know you're doing something not so good? Because they're going to tell you about it. I see you. I see that this happened and I see that, they're going to tell you when you did something wrong. Okay. So I like keeping those likables around me because they let me know when I'm doing something wrong and when I'm doing something good. Okay. Because like I said, when you're doing something good, they ain't gonna say nothing. But when you're doing something bad, they gonna say something. So that's your sign to let you know that you need to get back on track because they didn't told you. Because why? Because they watching you do bad. Because they waiting on you to do bad. Because then that way you can, y'all know the drill. But that's not what we're talking about today. What we are talking about today is your new life will cost you your old one. Okay. The lies we tell ourselves. I can keep some habits, some people, some routines, and still elevate. Or I can keep some of those same habits, some of those same people, and some of those same routines and still elevate. Okay. Nope. Nope. Some of them, but not the same. You can keep some of them like onesies and twos, but not the same. Your old habits, right? Let me tell you something. Something that I've noticed, and I didn't even really pay it any attention before. So when I turned 50, I started drinking red wine. Okay, my favorite is Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, I love me a good old red wine. Okay, a glass or a bottle, depending on what's going on. Okay. Well, I've been on this thing called 75 hard for the last few days. And because I'm on 75 hard, one of the things about it is that one of the requirements is you cannot have any type of alcohol. Now, I've spent my whole life not being a drinker. Now, I'm not saying I've never drank, but I'm one of the people that when I was in certain situations, I was always designated driver because they knew I wasn't going to drink, and it was just like, because they know Yashika's not going to drink. So for the last 2 years, I've been drinking red wine, right? And like I said, depending on the day, I might drink a glass or two. Okay. And y'all know the glasses, by the time you get about two good glasses out of the bottle about gone. Okay. I mean, if you don't know, I'm just telling you, I've been told, I heard. Okay. Well, anyway, I've been noticing since I've been on 75 hard that when I wake up now, I'm a little bit more energetic. And I was like, what the hell? Because I haven't done anything different except I drink more water now because it's required. I work out twice a day now, but my second workout is just me walking around the neighborhood talking shit or looking at the trees and on my phone. Like it ain't really nothing. So I'm not doing that much, right? So, but what I am doing is I'm no longer drinking those glasses or those bottles of red wine. And I noticed that I got a little bit more energy. And I was like, well, wait a minute now. I knew that I wasn't a drinker before I started drinking at 50, but I didn't realize that it was making me kind of sluggish, right? And I'm just like, well, dang, or it could just be the amount that I was drinking. I don't know, because maybe a serving of glass of wine really is 5 ounces. Okay, I think it's almost the whole glass. Okay, because my thing is, who want a serving of something like this? Okay, I mean that ain't liquor. It don't hit the same as liquor. Okay, so okay, but I digress. All right. But anyway, the lies we tell ourselves. You cannot keep the same habits, the same people, and the same routines and still elevate to self actualization. So if you know for a fact there are things that are hindering you, that's causing you to be a little more sluggish than before, right? Then those are the things that maybe you need to consider changing. Because in order for you to get where you're going, you cannot take those things with you. Here's what you may have to sacrifice because there's a sacrifice no matter what. You have to sacrifice your comfort to be aligned. Oh, this is going to be uncomfortable. When you shed things, when you get rid of things that no longer can elevate with you, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. Okay. It's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be lonely at times. You're going to doubt yourself. You're going to wonder, was it me? Did I really do this? Right. And please, sometimes people will say, well, you know what? They think they this. No, listen, sometimes you have to listen. You have to shut out those noises. Do you know how many people I have heard in my life tell me, well, you know what? It's not about me thinking. It's just that I'm trying to do some things in this world. I don't want this to be, I'm trying to do some things in this world for myself, for my generation, for my family, for everybody. So for me to do those things, I have to be able to shut out certain things. And even though it may be offensive to some, what I say in terms of what I have to shed and get rid of, I know that I cannot carry certain energies with me. And by me being an empath, by me being a very spiritual person, right, if you will, right, I literally feel other people. So I will try to solve other people's problems. Even when they don't ask me to. If I have someone that I care about, if that's in my friend circle, my family circle, whatever the case may be, and they have something going on, I'm going to try to solve the problem for them or give them some emotional, give them whatever I need to give them the motivation they need, give them the words they need to hear. I am going to do that. And I'm going to keep doing it until they feel better in some kind of way. That's just who I am. So I also know that for me to be able to get to the place in my life that I desire to be, and I know that I'm supposed to be, I have to let go of some things. And that does include people. And it's going to be uncomfortable sometimes. But for me to be in alignment with what I'm supposed to do, I have to do it. All right. Old relationships that no longer reflect your growth. These are some of the things that you're going to have to sacrifice. Old relationships that no longer sacrifice or no longer reflects your growth. Right. Listen, I've had relationships with my significant others. Okay. And I know for a fact that sometimes you stay in situations because it's familiar to you, right? You stay in situations, relationships, because it's like, okay, well, I don't want to go out here and do this. I don't want to go out here and get to know somebody else. So you stay. You stay in old relationships, but at the end of the day, those relationships does not reflect how you are trying to grow. They don't reflect. They no longer align with your growth. So let them go if they don't. Familiar environments that and reinforce old patterns. If you know for a fact that you go into this environment, like say, I don't know, like say you are a club hopper, I don't know, and you know that being in a club or partying, it triggers certain things for you, or you fall back into old habits of doing things, then maybe you can't go to those environments anymore. Maybe you gotta, instead of going to a club or a party, whatever, maybe you gotta go, to ski. Maybe you gotta go knitting to a knitting class or to a painting class or to church or to another social environment, to a business meeting, right? You may can't socialize with your friends. So go somewhere where you socialize and drink tea. Okay, something like that. Then that way you still socialize and you still feeding off everybody else's energy, but you're doing something different, right? If you know that the place that you go may not fit with where you're trying to go. Outdated self perceptions of yourself, right? Being the strong one, the fixer, the overgiver. That's me. Some of those things you have to let go. That's why I say I have to be particular about my energy. I have to be particular about who I let in my energy, who I let in my space. So I can't let people outstay their welcome too long, right? Because it's like energy, right? It's like energy. Okay. So it's just one of those things where now if it's like, don't get it twisted. I'm not like one of the people that, oh my God, but what I do know is that if I know a person is going through things and they're refusing to change, my energy consumes them. My energy consumes trying to solve their problem for them, right? Because right, they haven't gotten to the point where they want to change some old habits. They haven't, but I'll see some things like this, and so because of it, I'll be trying to fix it. So I have to let go of those things. I have to say, okay, you know what? Let me walk away. And if that means not having any type of like not being around that person for a long period of time, maybe do them in doses or whatever, then that's what I'll do. Because why? I see the greatness in everybody, and not everybody is ready to see the greatness in themselves, right? And that's why I say, in order to have that new life, you got to let go of the old one. And sometimes it means people, situations, things, whatever. Ask yourself today, what am I holding to that no longer fits who I am becoming? Ask yourself that. Drop it down below. Let me know, what are you holding on to that no longer fits who are you becoming? Who do you have to stop being in order to evolve? Do you have to stop being that person that fixes everybody's problems? Do you have to be that person that says, you know what? I am going to do this or I am going to do that. Like, who do you have to be in order for you to evolve? That's something only you can answer. And if that's something you want to share, go ahead and drop it below. And what am I willing to grieve so I can grow? Because you already know, letting go of something, letting go of your old life in order to obtain this new life, there's going to be grievances, right? the way you used to do things, the way you used to go about your life, you're going to miss those things. You're going to grieve those things. And it's okay, because whenever something comes to an end, any type of relationship situation, any type of something you're used to doing, listen, I'm grieving wine. Just like I told y'all, I'm on 75 hard. Okay. I feel like, well, why can't I was on my front porch the other day, and because routinely, I'll sit out there and I'll do what I do, and then I'll be on the phone on my front porch. After I settle down for the evening and I'm done with my work and all that kind of stuff, I'll be outside, and this is a water glass, by the way, and I'll sit there, and I was like, well, dang, I wanted me some. I was like, what my wine at it? You know what I mean? And in that moment, I was grieving wine. In that moment, I was grieving wine. I said, girl, you only on day like 3. Okay, you got 72 more days to go. You can't drink no wine. Right. Then I start thinking about it. They got that wine alternative that you could order and you could drop it in your water. I said, I'm gonna have to look into that, because I need I'm grieving wine. But anyway, in order to get to the life that you want to live, in order to get to that part of self-actualization that you deserve, which is your highest self, you living in your purpose, you doing all the things that you are supposed to do, you're leaving behind the things, you're walking in your magic. Like the thing that when you get to that part in your life where you're walking in purpose, listen to what I tell you. And if you don't hear anything else that I say on this series or on this particular episode, listen to this. Your purpose is yours. Nobody else can do it the way you do it. I don't care how many people out there are, like, for example, I'm doing this YouTube channel. I don't care how many people out there have a YouTube channel. I don't care if there are people talking about the same things I'm talking about. I don't care if there are people that look like me that are talking about the same things I'm talking about. I don't care if there are people that look like me that are talking about the same things I'm talking about. Not only that, but they said in the way I said. I don't care. They still can't deliver it the way I do. I am unique. So when you understand, because see, everybody is born with a purpose. Everybody is born with a purpose. Everybody has a reason for being on this earth, right? And now, granted, some people we say, well, dang, did they really live their purpose? Because life is sometimes cut short, okay? But we can't. That's something we can never question. But what I do know is that everybody has a purpose. And the longer you live on this earth, the longer you will fine tune your purpose. The longer you will begin to understand what it is. You will see your life the way I see my life in this building, right? And this building that's being built with this scaffold along the side holding it up, but you can see the finished product. You can see what it's going to be. You're going to see how tall the building is going to be. You can see how amazing. You can see all the things about it, because most of the floors are done, but you just got pieces of the floors that you got to add on to, right? Because you whatever age you are, those floors have been completed. Okay, and you just see the rest of the floors, and you add on to it, and you add on to it, right? That's who you are. So the more and more you live, the more and more you walk into your purpose, you will be able to say, you know what, this is who I am, because you fine-tuned it more. And you realize that for me to be who I am, I have to let go of all the things. I have to let go of the things that people said that does not align with who I am. I have to let go of the things that no longer serve me. I have to let go of the people that no longer serve me, the things that tried to hinder me. You have to let go of a lot of things in order to be self-actualized. You do. But the beautiful thing about it is when you let go of those things, they are replaced with some more things that are so much more beautiful. And that's the part that you have to get to. That's the part that you'll look and say, this is worth it, right? This is worth it. Because you have to get there. If that's what you want to do. If not, then don't. If not, then don't. But understand this, it's going to be uncomfortable in a lot of ways. It's going to stretch you. It's going to stretch you. But it's worth it. So just as always, I don't know who this is for, but I know this is for somebody. And again, if this is your first time here, hello and welcome. And thank you for spending some time with me this day. Okay. Let me know you are here watching it and answer those questions. And if you forget what I asked you, I'm going to say it to you again. And that's why I got notes right here, so I can, just in case I forget myself. Ask yourself, what am I still holding on to that no longer fits who I am becoming? Who do I have to stop being in order to evolve? And what am I willing to grieve so I can grow? Drop those comments down below and let me know. And if there's something that you don't want to tell everybody, then go ahead and DM me. But listen, if you are looking for a self-actualization or life strategist, then go ahead and book yourself in counsel. The counsels are no obligation. The link is at the bottom of this video. And listen, just go ahead, because I'm gonna tell you, like I tell everybody, once you talk with me, you're gonna realize, you know what? I didn't know that I needed a little bit of sprinkles of glitter and sunshine in my life. I didn't know I needed glitter and sunshine in my life. Oh my God. And you're going to want to hire me. Trust me when I tell you that. But until then, continue to watch me here on this here platform, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.